Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for coming and worshiping with us. A couple of announcements to highlight. Remember that there is the voters meeting after this, so you can get up, stretch your legs a bit, fellowship for a bit, but we're going to be having the meeting very shortly after. Ladies' Bible study continues Tuesdays at 10, and we will be starting the midweek Bible study next week. It will be on Wednesdays at 6:30, as that seems to be the one with the most interest. Offering statements are in your mailboxes. Be sure to grab them. And then next week, not this week, but next week, is council meeting and Bible study. Council meeting and Ladies' Aid after a shortened Bible study, where we will be starting a new series about worship. That should be everything. God bless you this new week of grace. I'm going to end the stream and see if I can send out the invitation for Zoom for anyone who wants to attend but cannot be here in person. So just give me a couple minutes to do that.
That we can do. I printed lots of copies of the agenda, but I see it's on the back of the bulletin now that I looked at it. So if anyone needs a copy, I can give you one.
It's probably bigger print on the back of the bulletin, at least.
Huh?
It's probably bigger print there.
Yeah. Oh, it is bigger print, yeah. So if someone wants one, we'll just raise your hand.
Please.
We'll get you one.
Zoom. New meeting. Okay. Participants. Invite.
Yeah, you're all welcome
Email.
to stay.
Let's try that.
Good idea.
Yes, virtual camera. Okay. Sweet. That works. And those mail. Join members. We're going to, for the meeting, I'm going to try to have it over Zoom and streaming, so I think it will be better to wait. Two. Trinity Voters Meeting. Send.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
that looks good.
She's still got sleep now.
Okay.
11 years too.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
10 days is what we're saying.
Yeah. It's out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really chocolate.
Okay.
That looks like it works.
Okay. Well, I'm going to call the voters' annual meeting to order. The agendas we have, if you'd like a bigger printed one, I've got that, otherwise they're on the back of the bulletin. I'll welcome all of you to the meeting. For those that are curious, and that's what, well, it's loving also, all of our people. Linda tested positive 11 days ago to COVID on Thursday. And so by Friday, the State Department of Health person had called to do the tracing of who she might have been in contact with prior to. And so I made the comment about 2 weeks, and he said, no, CDC now says 10 days of quarantine is all. So yesterday was our 10th day, but she is so tired yet. And so that apparently is something that lingers on for a while. Before, she had such a deep cough from her bottom of her chest and some phlegm, and so that was what she finally got tired of and came down to check with the doctors, and she tested positive. So that's the background of it. And thank you all for all of your concerns too. Okay, Pastor, when you're ready, we'll have an opening prayer.
All right. Okay.
All right. We open with prayer. Lord, you are the head of the church. We are the body. Please help us as we have this meeting to seek to use your gifts as best as possible and to move, and please move us to continue to grow and move according to your will. We pray this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Okay, the agenda that I put together is there. Does anyone want to add anything to the agenda? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to item 4, minutes of the past meeting. Dale?
Voters meeting of last year, correct?
Yes.
January 26th of 2020. Members present, Pastor Schutz, Joe Dobbin, Neil Ulmer, Tom Turner, Steve Stroshine, and Dale Johnson. Guests were Aaron Ravenberg, Aaron Lemke, Roger O'Grady, Jeff Cole, Pastor Newman, and Glenn Johnson. Neil called meeting to order, and Pastor Schutz gave a prayer. Secretary's minutes, Dale read the minutes of the last year's voters meeting. Neil declared approved as read. Treasurer's report, congregated financial report. Neil made a motion to approve, seconded by Aaron Ravenberg, motion carried. Pastor's report. Pastor Schutz reported that Sunday 1 p.m. services are working fine for him and his schedule. Old business and pastor's study was discussed, and also fixing the parsonage. New business, Pastor Schneal returned his call to Trinity. Next call meeting will be February 2nd, 2020. The council would like to thank Tom for all his hard work to get the called pastors the demographics of the area. Proposed budget for the 2020 budget was proposed by Tom Termes. He made a motion, Aaron Lemke seconded, then Aaron Lemke and Jeff Cole asked a few questions on budget. With no changes, motion carried to accept budget. Outreach, Joe discussed the Adopt a Family program. Laura Lemke was going to look into getting more information on Facebook for Trinity. Council officers, Neil turned meeting over to the vice president to preside over meeting. Neil nominated Aaron Ravenberg, Aaron Lemke, Tom Termas, Lisa Goshen, and Joe Dobbins. After a ballot vote, Aaron Ravenberg, Tom Termas, and Joe Dobbins were voted to serve on council. Vice president turned meeting over to the president. Aaron Ravenberg had several questions on the vacancy call and the church's needs. Neil declared meeting adjourned. Pastor closed with prayer.
I've heard the reading of the minutes. Well, that woke us up. Just the swinging door, yes. Nobody got hurt, nurse. Okay, you've heard the reading of the minutes. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes from last year's annual meeting? That was a long time ago, yeah. Any additions or corrections? Hearing none, I will declare them approved as read. Financial Treasurer's Report, Tom Termas, please.
Okay, I want you to listen carefully to these numbers. In our checking, this is as of January 3rd, 2021. In our checking account, we have $7,341. The memorial account currently contains $3,207. Facilities, that will sometimes we call a building fund, that contains $16,020. Sunday school fund is at $135.23. Currently, we have a savings certificate for $32,960 for total assets as of January 3rd, $59,644. Upcoming, these are just side notes. Upcoming summer project, I'm guessing $50,000. Basement bathroom still needs work. As of January 3rd, all bills are paid. The attic insulation has been installed. The savings certificate was purchased and will mature on April 19th. Still working on window bids. Our CMO of $2,200 for 2020 is paid in full. I guess that's about it. That's where we're at. A lot of times the treasurer of the annual report will compare expenditures with budget. I don't even see any point to that. With the COVID and the vacancy and everything else, there's really no comparison. I do have a proposed budget for 2021. I don't know if we approve that here.
Yeah, under new business, Tom.
Okay.
Okay.
Tom, can you just elaborate on why we have that 32,000?
Well, part of that is because we got a check from Church Mutual and it was over $30,000. I think it was $33,000. We've had a year with generous gift giving, a year with reduced cost because we went part of the year without a pastor, and mostly it's that check from Church Mutual.
For the Halo.
Gift giving has significantly exceeded expenses for 2020. That's not the way, and we should thank God for that.
Certainly. Yeah, the Church Mutual, that's the insurance company, and that was the hailstorm last May?
Yeah.
Whatever it was. Any other questions? Yes.
It was at 20, in 2019, it was $2,000. We increased it by 10% to $2,200 for 2020. And I guess that's one of the things that the council or somebody should talk about, what we want to pledge for 2021. Do we want another increase, Or do we want to leave that?
Let's cover that under the proposed budget perhaps.
Just off the top of your head, can you say what the percentage is compared to all of the
I could research that, but I don't have that on the top of my head. I do know that the Dakota Montana district usually exceeds the pledge. Beyond that, I really can't say. I would be happy to send that out to whoever wants it.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how that compares to all the offers from all of our members. Like, is it 2, 3, 4, 5?
Well, I can tell you this. For 2020, actual expenditures in 2020 were about $70,000. And our CMO was 2,200. Does that help any?
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? All right, I would accept a motion that we.
So,
Second. Motion been made and seconded that we accept the treasurer's report. Discussion? All those in favor say yes or aye. Those opposed, no. Motion carried. Then, financial secretary report. Joe, you got any thoughts, comments?
Only what Pastor told us this morning, that all the annual contributions are in your cubbies so that you can use it for taxes as you track your operating stuff. That's it.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Joe. Okay, next item I've got is pastor's report. So, Pastor,
hi, I'm the new pastor.
you're not new anymore. You're in a whole new year or something.
Yeah, it's COVID it's difficult to start as a new pastor with COVID. With the new year, I am hoping to get to visit everyone again and get to know you all a whole lot more. Hopefully with COVID fears reduced with the shot coming out, hopefully that will allow us to get more into outreach. Other than that, very thankful for the ladies helping to put together Sunday school at home and everyone who is willing to be flexible with regards to the changes about COVID. We've started online services and we've been consistently getting about 2 or 3 people minimum who are watching the live stream online, and a few more people have been looking at it for playbacks on YouTube. So that is something that we can thank God for, and that is a useful opportunity. Looking at the new year, outreach, getting to know you better, and continuing to get to know the community are the goals as we head forward.
Very good. Any particular questions you might have for Pastor? All right. And if you ever have any, call him, invite him over for a meal. And,
Otherwise, I'll start inviting you over for meals, and then you'll find out how well a bachelor can cook.
yeah, you don't look like you're hurting too much. Okay, thank you, Pastor. Under old business, Tom, would you want to, and others on the parsonage remodel and the church remodel, any kind of report you'd like to kind of give us a wrap up, or are we done?
The parsonage project is, I would say, 99% complete. But
Super.
Michael and I are planning on going into that bathroom in the basement and try to tear out the shower, put in a decent sink, new toilet, which is already down there, and find out why the drain problem exists.
I have no problem.
But we can, again, just thank God. I think it was last year, January, Aaron went over there and started tearing stuff up, and it was just a great show. And I think we should somehow send a letter of thanks or do something for Hope. They sent us all that flooring, 3 toilets, a piano, and of course they lent us the pastor, but wow, it was just a great project, and we were very successful. We spent just under $18,000 over there. And the beauty of it, we haven't spent. That's the beauty of it.
What I think I'll do is give like a thank you card. And next week at our council meeting, at least the councilman can sign it. And then I'll have it here for church too next Sunday for those that might want it.
Should we ask the secretary to write a letter of thanks?
Or I can, let's visit.
If you're gonna get the card, you can do it, it don't matter.
Yeah, yeah.
Do we want to make a donation to Hope?
I personally think we should, because that, just the flooring alone was probably worth close to $2,000 that we got from them. That's just the flooring. So we should give them some monetary, I think.
They have the building fund, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would entertain a motion. Okay, let's do another new business. We've got 5 seconds to think about it.
I have something else I would like to share. Okay, we got this check from the insurance company that was supposed to cover the 2 roofs, painting both buildings. They wanted us to do something with the windows and all new eave troughs. And that's where the check for $32,000 came from. Okay, we got bids on painting the parsonage, painting the church, new roof and eave trough for the church, new roof and eave trough for the parsonage. And all of those, I don't know. Well, basically it's this way. To paint the parsonage, about $10,000. Same for the church, about $10,000. Roofs for the 2 buildings, $12,000 for the parsonage, $17,000 for the church. Now, I'm pretty sure this church needs to be re-roofed. I think we should re-roof the parsonage. But I would like, we don't have to paint the parsonage just because they gave us money. What that means is if the parsonage gets hail damage on it, we can't make it clean on it again. But we don't have to paint the parsonage. We can take that money and do something else with it. No. And I don't know if you want to talk about this right now or not, but the council said, or the council kind of decided, we need to replace these windows on this building. So I got some bids on that. I got a bid from Renewal by Anderson to replace the 2 windows on that side and 1, 2, 3, 4 windows on this side. These windows. Renewal by Anderson, $76,791. I got, huh?
76,000.
$76,791. I got a bid from Iverson Construction. Of course, the bid from Anderson was Anderson Windows. I got a bid from Iverson Construction for Pella Windows. Same project, $52,700. I think it is the opinion of the council that we proceed with this project. But we voted it, didn't we?
I don't know, we'll have to read the minutes.
I think
No, we just talked about it.
Yeah,
It was just discussion.
Yeah, it was just discussion. Okay, I don't remember us voting on it.
No.
Okay, I did get a letter, I did get an email from 2 different contractors that said, we want no part of this. So,
The windows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would like, first of all, and Joe keeps hammering on me about this. We need to have a committee, we need to have somebody picking out these colors. Because if we get the wrong color, people are gonna be unhappy. And I agree with that. I would like to see somebody, and I'm pretty sure women are better at colors than men, decide which of these projects we're gonna do, and what colors the shingle's gonna be, trim color, paint color. I'm just gonna throw that out. If somebody wants to contact me, they can. Otherwise, we're gonna,
Well, we're also gonna have to get shingle colors too.
Yeah.
exactly.
Therefore, which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Do we decide the color of the shingles and the color of the wall, the outside walls?
I think we need to decide them all at the same time. So as we proceed, we have a plan.
And I think it's important for us to have the ladies talk about it. Maybe we need to sit at the next ladies' aid meeting and ask for 2 or 3 of the women to sit down with the council officers and go from there.
I'll just add this, the paint job, if you get colors that are a lot different than what's already on there, especially if there's, the paint job will increase in how much they're gonna charge us, because it's more difficult to cover some, depending on the color matches. So who's ever picking this out might take into mind, doesn't have to be the same, but it has to be kind of, so that it's not gonna cost a lot of money to cover it.
There is another thing, and this is really reaching out a long way maybe, but does it really make sense to spend $10,000 painting this stucco, knowing that it will react the same way that last paint job? Irvin and Mike Hugo and I painted this west side I would say less than 10 years ago. Come look at it. If we paint it again, it'll do that again. Maybe we should consider tearing that stucco off and putting siding on. Will that be expensive? Yeah, but we're gonna spend $10 to paint it, which is basically money down the foxhole. I think. We want it to look good.
Or repainting the siding. We're gonna have to come up with some money someplace if we're gonna do like most of these things. So I think in the smaller group of the council, we'll start to put some figures together and some actual plans and that. So, okay. Any other thoughts along those lines? Any other old business? No. Joe, phone and internet. Want to give us an update again?
Well, the phone was installed, that was installed with Century. And we found out when the pastor was trying to get the online sermons going, that CenturyLink couldn't handle it, so we converted to VAS. And I believe everything's running fine through VAS. So we have the phone set up and we have the new laptop set up for the church. So we're already using it for financial secretary
Records.
tracking the contribution.
Yeah, okay.
Question,
Yes.
is that a contract? That's year, 2 years, or
3 years.
2 years?
Okay. Other questions? Internet is up and running.
Yes.
With VAST. New business then. Our first order of business would be, I would accept a a motion to receive Mike Guglielmo as a member, voting member of Trinity Lutheran. Is there a motion? So moved here. Is there a second?
Second.
Second here, Aaron. Any discussion? Better not be. Discussion? And what took us so long? That's a valid question. All right, voting on the question of receiving Mike Guglielmo as a member. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion has carried. All right, welcome, Mike. You're officially.
Extend to you the right hand fellowship.
Yeah. Okay, proposed budget. Tom, you want to share something there?
Well, anybody that wants to look at this can. I just took and made guesses. I came up with a total expenditure for 2021, $124,000, with $50,000 allotted for these projects. If you take that out, it's like $75,000. Our income for, well, we know what our income is, because Joe said so. If we have, we should be able to do this. Anybody really interested, you can look at this. I have 4 columns here. One was what we budgeted in 20, what we spent in 20, what we're proposing in 21, and why the change. It's a lot of estimates, but
Will you highlight any of the major increases?
you have.
You don't have to go through all of them, just any of them that are
Right
big.
now,
Yeah,
okay, pastor's salary, I mean, we paid Pastor Schutz $1,600 a month. We're paying Pastor Rescue much more than that, because we're also paying pension, healthcare, and salary. So there's that. Health insurance has gone way down. Pastor Rescue's helpful in that regard. The utility bills are about the same. Mission at this time, the mission pledge, I just put down 2,200 because I'm waiting for a vote to see what people want to do. Property insurance is the same. Workman's comp is the same. Facilities way up because we got all this stuff we're going to do. I have now put office supplies, photocopy, a lot of all that miscellaneous under Christian ministry. And we spent, in 2020, we spent $6,600 on that category. I bumped it up to $7,000. Miscellaneous is all, we don't know where to put it. I think I got $2,500. That's about it. I guess, oh, thank you, dear. Okay, these are our balances, which I've already given everybody. I think it's a very reasonable budget. I hope we are able to achieve the goals of what we want to do, and I'm sure you all know. When you drive towards the church from the south and you see this roof, I just cringe every time I see it. That needs to be done.
And we do have pricing and prices locked in from the estimates of last fall.
We do not have a signed contract with anybody.
But they will hold their pricing.
I trust these guys a lot. Yes, I think they will.
Okay, let's go back to the mission offering. Question was brought up. Should we increase it again? Do we want to, or should we? We were 2,000 last year, 2,200.
Over 2,200 last year.
Huh?
2,220.
2,220, yeah, okay. So, and the year before that was the 2,000. So, what's your thoughts on mission offerings?
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. Pastor, comment?
Well, yes, I would like to comment that we say, I don't have a good understanding of what offers come in and so forth. But I'm just thinking in terms of, we talk about different issues. We talk about sharing the gospel with those who come in contact with and so forth. To a certain extent, I think probably most of us don't come into contact with a lot of people who are LDS church. My thinking is this. We want to do mission work, and then we don't personally have those opportunities. We have an excellent opportunity to help the city in doing mission. And support of our missions is something that is always going to be there. There's never going to be enough dollars for it. Having worked in the mission field for most of my ministry, actually, I have a great understanding of that. But I think it would be well for the congregation to each year at least try to increase it.
Yes. Should we try our 10% again?
If we went with a 10% increase, that would take us to $2,420. We could round that up to $2,500 if we wanted.
Let's put that in as our proposed budget then.
Here, I would like to say something. We don't come into contact with people who are in church very often, but we come into contact with our own family of members, and engaging people is kind of about relationships. If we're always crabby-abby, if I'm crabby-abby every time I see those, well, probably not really, but somebody that's less, probably somebody that's less engaged, this is no way to get people to our church. I think we have to be uplifting. When we see people that are in our church family, we have to really remember, these are our brothers and sisters. Don't be crabby to them.
Point well pointed out, yeah, point well taken. So, okay, so let's increase the missions CMO offering to $2,500 then for 2021.
You need a motion?
Yes, that'd be a good idea.
Well, we're just discussing the budget right now.
Yeah,
So when we approve the budget,
it'll be in there.
that'll be approved in the budget.
Yeah. As Tom pointed out, some of these things are just real estimates anyway, like property insurance, the next item down. You know, what it was, $3,000 last year. I don't know why it went down, but apparently it did from a year or two ago. And so that's an estimate, certainly. Work comp is, premiums are pretty much controlled, directed by state law, so that probably will stay the same. And so water doesn't change a lot, I don't suppose. Well, it might now that we have somebody using the bathroom oftener.
Well, went down $5 a month.
Yeah.
It's on average, utility bills on average, it's went down $5.
Well, good. Well, the proposal of 2,000 is probably a good place to be. So, anybody else have any other things to question or talk about on the proposed budget? Because we are going to adopt a budget today. To approve the proposed budget 2021 with the 2,500. Hearing none, we're going to vote on the motion to All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion is carried. Thank you. Outreach Committee report. Joe, are you chairman of that committee yet anymore or not? No.
Been for over a year.
You haven't been for over a year. That's what you told me. And who is chairman of the Outreach Committee? Okay. Does anybody have any report for Outreach Committee? Yeah.
For the outreach, we have the hot chocolate and the cocoa and the tree lighting. Because of the time frame, we're just do a float. So we can actually were able to do that. Part of the outreach, we did a food basket for our church as a drop-in. And we also did a hygiene packet for the White's house. And they really truly appreciated the gifts that we offered them.
Did those monies come from Ladies Aid, a lot of them, or from the?
It's just everybody donated.
Donated.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah.
That's
So
better.
I'm hoping in the future that we can pick another organization within the community and provide them with a gift, or people know.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are like, when I talk about churches, it's like, oh, what church do you go to? And so I go to the word, so for me, I'm still, and they don't know what this is church, and you're right there, you don't know what a church is. So I think.
Yeah. So, with that. Perfect.
I think Arlene and I agree on this. Devin has been really busy doing a lot of stuff. And this, I was listening actually. Remember, I got two get well cards from the outreach in-reach committee, and I'm pretty sure Deb signed them both. So she does a lot of stuff. Thank you, Deb.
Thank you, Deb. Yes, thank you very much. Okay, any other areas of outreach to talk about or propose? Okay. Hometown.
I don't know if this is really under outreach, but the school teachers, Alan and I, have been putting together, right now we put school packets that go out to 19 kids each week. We are still encouraging parents to come and pick the packets up. That's between Alan's contacts and mine. We seem to get the materials out to the kids, and we're hoping this one more. So it's kind of Sunday school, but it's kind of outreach. So.
All right. Well, thank you.
I got it, last year I slipped off these slips that people would like to see changed, or looking like in the church, things like this, and I got some to start coming to their home. Like, when a pastor comes in, I also like to see Ruth with some.
Yeah. Well, for their age, I might even be one of the youth, huh?
Once or twice a month again, but we'll be able to visit personally there, and then get a name. Couple other people that it's visiting them at their homes.
Betty Cole, have you been out to see Betty or not? She's out east of town toward
Yeah.
the airport.
For Christmas.
Mhm. Good. Okay, thank you, Pastor. And that is a challenge, and especially with the COVID now. So. Okay, we've been members of the Sturgis Chamber of Commerce for a number of years. Do we want to rejoin them this year? Treasurer, do you remember how many dollars that membership has been in the past or not?
I don't offhand, it's, I think less than 100, it might be 100. It's around that one. It's around $100.
$100 plus or minus.
So excuse me, for the Congress.
Chamber of Sturgis Chamber of Commerce. We joined them a few years.
What is that?
Huh?
I mean, I know it's a building down there. What companies
Well, they're the ones that host the, tree torch. They do a lot with the Christmas parade, those types of things.
Could we use it for like advertising for the church right now?
I believe you can put information, you can put stuff on their Facebook, and they have informational, like racks there.
Yeah.
So when visitors come into town, they want to know more about the town, different businesses and groups.
Any member of the chamber can request that they have and this, I guess, is back in the days when they sent out paper document, you could request an insert in there. And if you're a member, you can ask them to include things on the, whatever, Facebook monthly newsletter.
What benefits have we derived from being members?
Well, if you look at, well, this is a common question. Did anybody ever join our church because of that? No. Does it provide us with name recognition? Yes. I guess the benefit is that we are attempting to make sure that people in Sturgis know that there is such a place as Trinity Church. Has that helped? I'm sure it has. Has it actually made the concrete different? No.
So, do we want to rejoin them is the question. So I'd accept a motion if we want to rejoin them. If we don't get a motion, then we won't join them this year.
So moved.
So moved. And a second. Discussion? All those in favor of the motion say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you. The last thing I have is our membership on the church council. And so I visited with Glenn Johnson, and he said yes, that he would like to serve on the council. The members at the moment, Dale Johnson, the end of his second term is this December. Tom, in his second term, ends December 2022. Aaron, first term ends in December of 2022. Lee Stroshine, second term ends in 2021. Mine, first term ends 2021. And then Glenn's, we're out of sync, so we're going to try to get that into sync. But then Glenn's term, the first term would end, which is a 3-year term, would end in 2023.
Joe has.
Yeah, in a year, but
He has.
Yeah,
okay, he resigned. He resigned.
Okay, for health reasons, has resigned. Yeah.
And so whoever we elect today to replace Joe will be in for a 3-year term.
Yes.
We're just kind of voiding the 1 year left on
Yeah.
Joe's term to put us back in
Try to
proper
get us
rotation.
closer to our rotation. Yeah. So I still have to manipulate one other slot there. We'll do that as we go forward. So, are there any other nominations from the floor?
I'm not nominating Mike.
Move the up. Okay. Any other nominations? Well, somebody.
Aaron Lemke made a comment that he is willing to serve for any position on the council that is not financial.
Okay.
The council member does not get to decide which positions they serve in. The council decides which positions you will serve in.
Right, these 6 people next Sunday, when we meet, will divide up the duties. So, okay, any other nominees? Hearing none, I will ask for a motion to close nominations. Thank you, Lee. Is there a second? Aaron? All those in favor of closing the nominations, say yes. You got somebody up already.
Tom made these up and handed them out.
Oh, okay. Everybody got a piece of paper then? Every man. That's a member. Okay, and Lee, would you want to go around?
I will collect them.
Okay.
Vote for one, correct?
Vote for one, yes. Yeah, vote for one, sorry.
Michael and Glenn.
Glenn and Michael. Vote for one. Pastor, did you get to vote?
Yeah.
Here, try the pencil. Or Aaron's got a pen, but. Need an extra piece of paper. There you go.
In case someone decides,
In case someone comes in rushing in to cast a tiebreaker.
Did he cast online?
not that I have seen.
I was just curious.
No.
Because we can, that's what he wants to do. Accept it.
It's one advantage of a small group. And the winner is Glenn. So congratulations, Glenn. Thank you for being willing to serve. Mike, you'll get your chance. You bet. Okay. So any other items that anyone wishes to bring up? Well, okay. With that, I will declare the meeting adjourned. Pastor, would you